What is up, my fellow mobile gamers? In today's video, we got our best beginner's guide for Lineage 2M, brand new, just launched today. Before we get started, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, notification bell so you don't miss a video when we live stream. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this guide, if it helped you out at all, because I know there are various things that the game does not tell you. I'm going to try and cover a few of those. One thing that I just want to start off and talk about real quick is, in order to gain access to the marketplace, you'll notice that you have a security settings that will pop up right here in the main menu. When you first start the game, before you actually get into the world, you'll see security settings right here at the left bottom corner, right above the credits. You'll just click this, you'll join this, you'll have to go through all of this, and that way you can gain access to the marketplace. You also can change your server and various other things as well. I'm not going to talk too much about the starting characters. There's a ton of different classes that you can choose from at the beginning, but ultimately it necessarily doesn't matter too much because you will get summons to do. So you will have access to a decent variety to choose from. But what I'm going to suggest is very, very simple. No matter which race you pick, I am going to suggest the Oracle class to start out with. It's a very simple class to learn. It's super easy to play, and it's just going to make grinding a lot easier because you have self-healing, which a lot of the other classes just don't have. And that way you can save your potions, your HP potions. You won't be running out of those constantly. And a really good early game is what I would say. And then late game, you know, when you start unlocking like the legendary classes and the unique classes, then you can go ahead and experiment and switch. But I think this is a great beginning class to choose. With that being said, if you do decide to pick the Oracle class, which is AKA the healer, the next thing I'm going to suggest you do is, once you get into a town and you have access to the NPCs, you're going to look for an NPC that is a skill book merchant. Because early on, you're pretty much not going to have any skills and you're going to want to buy some. Now, this is very, very important. Please make sure you buy the correct skill books. Don't choose a skill book that doesn't go with the class that you chose. Otherwise, you're pretty much just wasting your gold coins until you do unlock that class, or so on and so forth. So like I said, try and focus on one main class early game. And then you can start to branch off later game. And this is the #1 skill that I'm going to suggest you buy, is the heal right here. This lets you pretty much convert MP to HP, so you use some of your magic power to heal. It's amazing. A #1 skill that you need to get. Once you get 300,000 of your gold coins, 100%, you need to go buy that immediately and equip it. Now, I have 3 abilities equipped right now. We're going to go over to our skills. I have a heal, I have the bolt, and I have the might of heaven, which does light damage. Now, what you can do specifically with these is a step further, because if you have the heal active set to auto, you're going to notice that you're going to run out of magic power, MP, very fast, because when you have this set to auto, the computer just spams it. I mean, it just spams the hell out of it. As soon as you take any type of damage, like even 1 damage, it's going to immediately use it anytime to just keep healing you, and you're going to burn through your MP ridiculously fast. So one thing you can do is, you're going to click on that specific skill. You're going to click on the little stopwatch in the bottom right corner. Now, what this does is it actually stops it from spamming it constantly. And you can do this with other skills as well. So depending on what class you have, depending on what skills you have, if you find that one of your skills is being used more often than you would like, you can do this with any of your other skills. You're going to go in here and the casting interval is going to be set to off. You're going to turn this on. In PvP, you want to spam all your abilities, and you don't want to wait like 30 seconds or 10 seconds to use an ability, because PvP battles, man, they go quick. This is more for PvE, when you're like farming 100 monsters and you know, stuff like that. So for instance, you can set this up to minutes and seconds. So it's pretty much just experimenting, right? Honestly, like if you find that you're in a particular area where you don't need to heal up as much as you do in other places, you can go ahead and set this to like 50 seconds. So every 50 seconds, what it'll do is it will check if it can even use the ability. So if you have full health, it's not going to use it. But if you have even just a little bit of health missing, it's going to use it, and then in 50 seconds it'll check again, and then so on and so forth. So this is an absolutely amazing thing that you need to definitely look into, especially with all of your other abilities depending on your class and your skills. But that is a great way to save your MP and not just burn through all of it just for healing or doing stupid things that you really don't need to. You really need to control your characters. It's very, very important. Another thing that I'm going to suggest is you get very familiar with the crafting system. The crafting system is pretty awesome, and you are going to spend a lot of time crafting. You have weapons, armor, accessories, even skill books. Upgrade lower quality materials into higher quality materials, taking wood and making it into quality wood, just kind of upgrading stuff. Another thing that I'm going to suggest is you want to get to level 30 as fast as possible, because once you get to level 30, you will unlock your very first dungeon right here. Dungeons are very, very important in this game. If you even just click and just take a look at all the different things you can get from these monsters. One in particular thing is the Oracle Scriptures. They are very important. These Oracle Scriptures are pretty much side quests where it's like kill 50 monsters and you get some really good loot from it. So that's something you definitely want to get. Then there's also other various materials like cloths and life stones, and you know, it just kind of goes on. Weapons, items, gear, just lots and lots of good things that you're going to spend a lot of your time in the dungeons. So get to level 30 as fast as possible. The best way to do that is, of course, follow the main quest as much as you can. And then if you do get access to those side quests that pop up, make sure you do those, because those also give a tremendous amount of XP as well. Also, when you early game, make sure you're using the stat buffs that you get. You're going to get these food dishes that are going to buff your stats. You're also going to get some of these scrolls that increase your attack and various other stats. Some of them are like, they last 6 minutes. Some of them last 30 minutes. Just use them. Don't be a hoarder and think, oh, I need to save them. Use them, especially when you get to missions where you have to grind out like 60 monsters and destroy them. Or I just had a mission where I had to destroy like 150 monsters. Like stuff like that is when you really want to make sure you use these buffs, these buff items that you have acquired. Random or round robin. So free for all means it's literally a free for all, and everyone in the party is just kind of trying to fight for the loot. Random means that the loot is completely random. One person may get an amazing item and another person may get junk, or one person may get a lot of really good items. It's just completely random, like it says. Now, round robin is where you may be confused about. Round robin just basically means it kind of takes turns. So say we have 4 members. Member 1 will get an item, then member 2 will get an item, then member 3 will get an item, then member 4 will get an item, and then it just kind of recycles in literally a round robin. Just, you know, everyone gets a turn at getting loot. But the purple emulator does have this thing called multiplay, where you can actually have multiple accounts going at the same time. So what you can do is you can have multiple characters running in the same server, have them partied up, and you can, you know, you get the idea of progressing even faster by doing things like that. One other thing that I just want to mention in the shop is there are a few things that they have going on right now. You have thing going on for the basically like the launch event. You have a beginner's adventure gear selection chest for 1,000,000 gold coins. It seems expensive, but early on this is a very good buy. Again, though, you have to make sure, please, that you choose it based on your class. Please check the class that you are using. If your class uses swords, then you're going to choose that one. For me in particular, I chose the cleric class, so I had to choose the orb gear chest. And what it did was it gave me a lot of good stuff, all +4 gear and a +6 weapon as well, an orb weapon. So really good for 1,000,000 gold. You can't beat it. Very good early on. But that is it for today, folks. Just wanted to go over a few of those things. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the video. If you want me to make an in-depth guide on all the classes, please comment down below. If you want me to do a class video. But that is it. I'll cover some other various things in this game. Stay happy, stay safe, my friends. Peace.